Hi, welcome to Positively Sparking, a podcast on internet marketing, online productivity and business. Today I'm with Joel Harrison, expert VA and client manager at Positive Sparks, and we're going to chat through our favourite apps for the month of August. Hey Joel, how are you doing this month?
Hi Phil, I'm good, thanks. And you?
Very good. Very good. It's amazing, isn't it, that it's September next week?
Oh, I know. It's like back to school.
It is. Yeah, I still get that feeling despite being in my 40s.
Yeah.
Do you?
Me too, yeah. Not quite so bad now, but I think when I used to work at university, it was very much like that because during the summer I was preparing everything for back to school, so it's not so much now.
Wow, I'm glad to hear it. But, let's see if we can find some apps to make that September go back to school feeling better.
Oh, yes, good plan.
Do you want to kick off with your first app for the month of August?
Yep, I will. So my first app of the month is one that I've kind of had along on the side for quite a while now. And we actually spoke to a couple of people that work for this company, and it's called ZenKit. And I think you spoke to Eric and Siobhan a couple of months ago.
Yeah. They did a podcast for us.
They did indeed. So I thought it's about time I actually did a kind of review of ZenKit, or how I use it, or how I've tried to use it while I've been really busy. So it's basically a project management tool, and it's been compared to Trello. But a lot of people have said it's better than Trello. Now, I'm not a Trello user and I've never tried to use it, so I can't really do that comparison. But to be honest, they've actually brought out some templates the last 6 weeks, which I've been looking at today because I hadn't spotted them before, and it's really good. I'm really impressed. And so basically what it is what I thought it was when I started using it was a bit like Asana, a bit like Todoist and all of those sort of tools. Where you can add your tasks and your projects, and you have like a Kanban board where you've got like columns to do, completed, that sort of thing. And that's how I was using it originally. But obviously today, when I've been looking at these templates, there's loads more you can do with it, and I didn't realise. So basically, some of the things you can do, some of the templates that I've found today are you can use them for personal projects, you can use them for professional projects. Similar to, so one of the things that I've added onto my collection, because they're called collections, is like a CRM management tool. And it adds lots, it's not just one tool actually. When you click on the template for CRM, it adds quite a few. So you have list of companies, list of contacts, like a lead tracking thing, and you can put all your products in there as well with prices against them, and it all basically connects up. So it's very much like I've been using Capsule CRM more recently. So it's pretty much Capsule in a different app, but you can have all these different tools in there for whatever you want to do. You can have a list of invoices. You can have task lists, how we use Todoist, for example. There's just so many. I mean, I'll go through a few of them, which look really interesting. Some of the personal ones that you can use: bucket list, places that you want to visit, car hunting, shopping list, family medical history, and some of the more professional ones when you're working, the CRM one. Recruiting, support help desk, business plan mind maps. I mean, there's so many possibilities, and they can all link up. So if you've got all these collections set up, they all link up and you can link them all together. So it saves some time because you're not having to add everything into one, because it should sort of go into the others as you link it up. So
very interesting. I remember Eric and Siobhan talking about these features on the podcast, and it's really good that we're discussing an app that previously visited us as a podcast guest. That's a wonderful thing. It's like poetry in podcasting. So all of this sounds very intriguing, and it's taking me back to that particular chat we had. So given that you can integrate everything, the key question for me is, you are already, very settled in certain productivity tools that you and I both use. Can it pull you out of that because of these templates?
I think for some things, yes. So, for example, the CRM would be useful because I don't use Capsule CRM anymore because it was just not up to, well, it was more than what I needed, I think. So whereas the CRM in here is a lot easier. It's just like a nice list, or you can have, that's another thing with Zenkit, which I forgot to mention, is whatever project you're using, you can have it in different formats. You can have lists, Kanban, calendar, mind map. So you can have the view that you prefer. So I think for me, the CRM would be simpler, and I've deleted some of the things in the template and only kept the ones that are going to be useful for me, because I don't do certain things in my business. Like I don't have any products, so I've deleted that one. Although I probably could have changed that to services. But I don't know. I think Todoist, I'm kind of stuck with Todoist because everything is in there. I feel it would take me hours to move everything across, and that's probably the reason I wouldn't move. But yeah, there are things in there, like I've got a list on my iPhone in the notes part about all the places I want to visit. So having it in Zenkit in this template, it looks really pretty as well because you can add images, you can add descriptions, all different. I mean, the template has all the different continents like Africa, South America, Europe, and you can have it all looking nice in a Kanban like that. And that appeals to me, the whole looking nice thing.
So I was going to say, it sounds very visual.
Yes, it is. It is definitely very visual. And I've used it for tasks in the past, and projects mainly, rather than everyday tasks. I've been using it for sort of one-off projects with clients, which it works really well for. But I don't think I could manage it as like a regular daily to-do thing. If you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I actually spoke to Eric earlier on, and I asked him if there was this particular feature that he might want me to check out. So he said they've just released a Google Calendar integration. I think that's what he said. I don't want to say the wrong thing now. It's hang on. Just double check that he said this. Oh, okay. We just released a global calendar to our Plus plan users, so you can see all of your tasks across all of your collections in a single calendar. So that sounds really good. And obviously for us, we use Google Calendar. So if we were ever going to do anything in Zenkit, to have it in a calendar, that would be really great.
It certainly would. Very intriguing. So give me the price details. You said there's a Plus plan, which I'm guessing is paid for, and there's a free plan, which is free.
Yeah, that's it. So you've got a personal account, which is free, and you can have unlimited collections, so you're not limited on that at all. 2,000 items per collection and 1 gig of space, basically, but you can also share it with up to 5 members. And then the Plus plan is actually not too bad. It's $9 per user per month. And that obviously increases what you can do with it. And then early access to new features as well. And then you have a business account, $29 per user per month, and then an enterprise account, which you tend to get no price because you have to, tell them what you want.
So let's set Eric and Siobhan a little challenge, just from our podcast now. So you said one interesting point to me, which is the big battle for any app that tries to entice you away from what you currently use. What has to happen for us to leave something we're comfortable with to go to something new? And it's either something that's so unbelievably useful to us, we just have to have it, or it's simplicity of the move. Those two things are the two factors.
Yeah, I think so.
To Eric and Siobhan, how can Joe move easily from Todoist to Zenkit?
Yeah, good question. And I think I also remember seeing, I think, an article of theirs or a comment somewhere, and I think they're actually going to bring out a desktop application as well and an iPhone app, and that would be an extra move to get me to move to them from Todoist if they brought out the apps as well.
The apps are so useful, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a key factor for me. You know, you and I both love Slack, and one of its greatest factors is it doesn't matter what you're on, it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. So what's the web address for ZenKit, Joe?
It's literally zenkit.com.
Nice and easy. There we go. Go and try it out. And if you are part of Joe's group, I highly encourage you to become a member. If you're not, you can log on and chat to Eric directly yourself if you have any problems. He's in there most of the time.
Yeah, he's in my group. So yeah, just pop along there and ask him lots of questions.
Great stuff. Good one to start with, Joe. Previous podcast guest. Good tool. Tough one to match. So I'm going to go with, I always think of, whenever we do our apps every month, I think, which is the most exciting and which is the most boring? So I'm going to do the boring one first. And this is unfair to these people because it's actually a great resource. So as you know, we've discussed a couple of keyword tools in our time. And I'm going to talk about another one today, which is part of a bigger service called Mangools. Really strange names. That's MANGOOLS. So it's mangools.com. And there's three kind of features on this site. There's a keyword researcher, which is what I'm going to talk about. A SERP checker, so that's a search engine results page checker. And a search engine results tracker. So if you have a site and you want to know what you're ranking every week or whatever, it'll do that for you. But their keyword research tool is pretty good, I think. And it's almost like every time I find a great one, another great one comes out, or we discover one.
Yeah.
And this one's quite funny because you telling me that you discovered it, but you didn't tell me about it. So I ended up talking about it, and I've taken an app off you.
Yeah, you have. I'll have to think of another app to do at some point.
So what's great about the Mangools Keyword Researcher is that it does one thing really well, which is so important. It is very good at finding keywords which are related to the one that you put in as a seed. And lots of other keyword research tools, including Google's own, tends to stray a bit off the track, and we have to filter them down quite significantly. This one, off the bat, is pretty good.
Yeah.
From there, it makes it very easy to create lists of keywords that we particularly like, that we can save and we can come back and retrieve later on. And that's a really important thing. So whereas the Google Keyword Research tool, that will kind of create little grooves for you, this one is much simpler, much more visual, and much easier to use for us to then go and look at again later on, or export and put into an AdWords campaign if we want to. And then beyond that, it also has another couple of tools, and these are additional search options that we find on Google. So as well as searching keyword data, we can also search the autocomplete section of Google. So when we type in a key phrase into Google, a drop-down will appear with other options on there for us. And then the third thing we can do is research questions which are being asked online about a certain keyword. So between those three, we can create a really nice list of keywords which for us become a great grounding for pay-per-click campaigns.
Yeah.
So, you know, to optimize spend, we're always trying to focus keywords down and not stray too far away. So I've really enjoyed using it. I know you just started using it yourself. So how have you found it?
I think compared to some of the others we've used, I think it's a lot better, as you said, because we don't have to filter down so much. So the ones that come straight up are really good keywords. You don't have to click through pages of keywords to find the most relevant. So that's good. But yeah, the things that you've shown me, because I haven't used it a lot, I've used it a couple of times. The things you showed me the other day, I think, yeah, they're really, really interesting, and it's certainly something I'll use in the future. And obviously for our clients as well, we've been using it. So yeah, no, it's good, and it looks nice as well with all the graphs and pie charts and things on it.
It's the visuality again, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the features we looked at today was the ability to choose one keyword and research that one further.
Yeah.
And that's quite interesting. So if we really, really kind of quite tightly niched, as the project was that we spoke about today, it was very niched. It was a certain part of a wider target market, really. Then we were able to look at one keyword and go into that one further and find others that related to that particular one. Same again, very, very easy to do, very visual, as you just said, and very simple to create a list. So it's one that I really enjoy. It'll take some doing to beat that particular keyword research tool, I think, but hey, I stand to be corrected.
I think, to be honest, when I found it a couple of weeks ago, I just did a Google search and just come across it. And I looked at a few at the same time and I thought, no, this one's good. It was actually nearly at the top of Google. So I thought, well, it must be okay. So
there we go. So it's free to try. You can try it out and give it a go. And then from there, the accounts start at $25 a month. So if you do a lot of keyword research, if you're looking for keywords to write content around or to do pay-per-click or SEO around, great tool. Mangools.com.
Excellent. I'm going to have to play with that again later.
There you go. So what's your next one, Jo?
Well, I think you'll be interested in this one. I found it a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how I found it, but I spotted it somewhere because it's actually a Chrome add-on for Gmail. And I know you use Gmail, so I thought, oh yeah, that would be a good one to check out. And it's basically leading on from Zenkit as well, because it's a Kanban board for Gmail, basically. So you can organize your emails into Kanban boards. So you add this Chrome add-on, and then you can turn it on and off in Gmail. You don't have to have it on all the time, and you can actually create columns. They have some set up at the start. All your primary emails in Gmail will go in the first list. It doesn't import any of the ones from the other tabs like social updates and the other promotions. It doesn't include those. And then you can move the emails into a particular board, like a to-do board, or if you're doing it, or if further action needed, or research or anything, you can add your emails into any column. So it looks like I say Trello, but I've never used Trello, I'm assuming. And the Kanban board in Zenkit, but it's also in Asana now as well, Kanban board. So it's quite a popular way of visualizing your to-do list. So yeah, and that it's really simple to use, and I've been using it in one of my Gmail accounts just to see how I get on with it. And if I use Gmail on a daily basis, it would be brilliant. I would use it, but I don't. I use my Mac email for my main email stuff coming in, so I need one for that, really.
Very good. So just for those of us who don't know, including me, what does Kanban stand for?
You don't know what it means? Well, I don't know what it means either, but it's just it's just the name of the way to sort of set up your to-do list. So it's columns. So it's like columns of a to-do column, an in progress column, a completed column, and then you just move those tasks into the relevant column. So you've got like a visual picture of what you've got to do, what you're doing, what you've done. I mean, you can change the column names to whatever you want, but that's the general idea of a Kanban board. And to be honest, I'd not heard of it until probably this year. Actually, I'd not really checked it out because I'm not a Trello user. So I think Trello was maybe, I'm not going to say be confident about saying this, but I think Trello was probably the first app that used Kanban, and then obviously a lot more people do now.
Fascinating. We're kind of laying into Trello a bit in this episode, aren't we? We're suggesting tools that are alternatives for everything they offer.
Yeah, well, I've not used Trello, so I mean, I may love Trello. Maybe I should investigate Trello for another podcast, and then tell you actually Trello is a lot better. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And just on the website now, and you can actually get the pro account There's a lifetime early bird offer that ends in 4 days. So if anybody fancies getting the pro account, which you can do a few more things in, you can add checklists, you can add descriptions to emails and due dates and things as well on the pro account. And the early bird price is actually $29 a year, and the actual price is $120 a year. So that's a really good offer.
That is a great offer, definitely so.
And it integrates with Zapier as well.
Does it really?
Yeah.
There we are. So if you're someone that uses your inbox and your Gmail inbox as a list of to-dos, it would be a great thing. It
would be brilliant, yeah. And I know a lot of people do that. It's difficult because the emails that tend to come in are things you need to do. So having that the way of the visual way of seeing which emails you need to do and other emails that may not need so much, like many replies and things like that, it's a great way.
Yeah, I tend to get things out of email, so I can separate conversations from tasks.
Yeah, well, there you go. You could have a tasks column and a conversations column.
Oh, there we go. You just pulled me back into the app and made it relevant again.
I thought the Zapier integration might sway you a little bit, but you'd have to buy the pro one. That doesn't work on the free account.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough. We shall see. So where can we download this particular app?
Well, it's a Chrome add-on, so you can search in there, or you can go to the website, which is dragapp.com.
Dragapp.com. Very nice.
Yeah.
I will have a go with that one. It's the visual aspect again, Joe, isn't it? It's a very visual show, very anti-Trello and very visual. So that's going to pull me in, I think.
I mean, you can turn it off and on when you want. There's a little button at the top which is like a drag. It's got drag one side, and then you just click it, and it turns off and goes back to your normal inbox. So it's really easy to switch backwards and forwards.
Intriguing. Definitely worth a shot. Good stuff.
Definitely.
So my second app is actually not an app. It's a new opportunity in advertising, really. And it's all part of LinkedIn's expansion this year further into online advertising. So every year, one particular platform seems to make big strides in what they offer us. And for the last few years, it's really been Facebook that have done that. Mm-hmm. Now, Google has done a lot this year, but LinkedIn have particularly expanded their offering in terms of advertising. So one thing that we spoke about in the past on another podcast is InMails. So InMails are the ability for us to send a personal one-on-one message to a certain target market within LinkedIn that appears in their LinkedIn inbox. Mm-hmm. And we'll have all seen these. If you go to our LinkedIn inbox, we'll see messages from people we know, and then there'll be one or two which are from people we don't know, and they'll say sponsored on them. So it's essentially an email. Now, what LinkedIn have launched in the last couple of months is their own remarketing opportunities. So remarketing is showing an ad to someone who's previously visited your site or performed a certain action that you defined. Mm-hmm. And whereas every other network offers the opportunity to show an out-and-out ad to people, where it gets kind of interesting and different with LinkedIn is we can send an InMail as a remarketing ad. So this, in effect, means that if we put a LinkedIn pixel on our site, everyone that visits our website that is also a member of LinkedIn can potentially receive an email from us one-on-one about our business or with some other message that we want to say.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a really good action. Whether it works for any of us or not, we're going to find out. But just the fact that it's a different option is what intrigues me. And the opportunity to do something different is always a good thing. So, and as because you and I have been talking about promoting both of our businesses via different methods, this sort of came into my head as something to share. So if you do get some traffic to your site and you are a B2B seller, this is a great thing to try. Put a LinkedIn pixel on there.
It.
You're definitely going to try it. Well, fantastic.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, anyone else that fancies a go at this, share us. Give us the messages that you're going to use, because I think that's a really important thing for people to share is how do they get people to kind of engage in conversations with them. It's a It's the next step. It's one thing getting people to click and to look. It's another thing getting people to have conversations with us.
Exactly.
So let's see how we go.
Yeah, we will. It's interesting. I didn't even know that there was a LinkedIn Pixel until you told me yesterday. I was like, whoa.
And you see that in itself, it's been around a while, but just this year they've expanded what it can do. So for the first time, it's collecting remarketing data. It didn't do a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And then what it'll also tell you is little insights into the people visiting your site, which are also members of LinkedIn.
Just going to say this would be a good thing to do your next webinar on.
Maybe that's an idea. Let's do that. I think that's a great idea. Remind me of that tomorrow when I've forgotten.
I will. That's what I'm here for.
Definitely so. And it's dead easy to do. You log into your LinkedIn account, and on the right-hand side now, you'll see a button that's like a dartboard target. It says advertise. Click on that. You can set up a campaign. And then you can also click on their conversion column. And that's where you can grab your own pixel and either have your web guy insert that on your site, or if you do it the way we do, we use Google Tag Manager to put it in there. Tag Manager actually has a template for a LinkedIn pixel, so it becomes very easy.
Okay.
And you're away. You will start collecting data right away. So we'll do that. Next webinar will be on the LinkedIn pixel and what you can do with it.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then, hopefully I would have done it before the webinar, but if I struggle, I'll wait for the webinar.
There we go. So, Joe, what's your app of the month?
Oh, to be honest, can I choose one of yours?
You certainly can. This is the first time ever.
I think it's probably the LinkedIn InMail, the remarketing thing. Because that's what I'm kind of trying to do at the moment with the LinkedIn InMails. So that sounds really good.
I would agree. I think that's a great opportunity for us all right now. And every now and then something like that comes along, and if we get in there early, then we tend to have a better time than if we wait 2 years and the whole thing is flooded with lots of people.
Especially now you've just mentioned it on the podcast. That's
true, yeah. Maybe we'll delay this one by a year. Not at all. It's all about sharing. That's what we're all about.
Exactly.
I hope everyone does go and try that method out. I would agree.
So is that your best app of the month?
Definitely,
as well,
yeah. It's the one where sometimes something comes along and it just sparks in your mind, and you think that's pretty much relevant for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's what this has done. It's something that we've set up, and every B2B client that we have, they're now doing LinkedIn advertising. So that's the effect it's had. Great, superb,
excellent.
Thank you so much as always, Joe.
No problem.
My name is Phil Byrne, and I'd like to thank you so much for listening today. I hope you got something really good to take away from this week's episode for you or your business. And you know what? I'd like to give you something more. In fact, I'd like to give you a whole free web marketing pack full of all my latest and best ideas on how you can take your business forward positively online. Download your pack at positivesparks.co.uk/pack. And most of all, guys, look forward to seeing you again next week.